Welcome to the MMA Junkie Ranking Report for Wednesday, June 17th. My name is John Morgan. Gorgeous George Garcia is our rankings chair at MMA Junkie, so let's just get right into it. George, this past weekend, UFC on ESPN 10 took place at the Apex. Obviously a card that was getting its fair share of criticism, but it still did have some impact on the rankings this week. Chiefly, I think we'll start in the main event. Cynthia Calvillo, who was already ranked at strawweight, she's moving up to flyweight. She got a big win against a former title contender in the main event, first 5-round fight. We're pulling her out of the strawweight rankings. She said, hey, I think flyweight is my home for the future. Big question. She came in and beat a top contender. Where does she debut at flyweight?
All right, so I love that head-to-head matchup and that being a decider. But look, we got to give credit to Jessica Ai. When she made her move, she won 3 in a row. She got herself a title fight. Even after the title fight, she got herself a win. So she's got some stock in that division. So we lowered her a bit down to number 6. But Cynthia Calvillo is the question. Where does she debut? She debuts at number 15. And basically the same applies. All those other young ladies, whether it's Invicta or Bellator or UFC primarily, they're doing their thing. Joanne Calderwood, even Macy Barber was 4-0 if you include the Dana White Contender Fight Series. Jillian Robertson, she's on a roll. Molly McCann, she's won 3 in a row. So we're going to put her at 15. And the reason there's a space there, Agnieszka Niedzwiecz gets pulled after 2 years of inactivity. Nothing on the horizon for her over at Invicta. Also, I did want to note, John, at women's pound for pound, Calvillo will also be debuting there. She will actually be taking Jessica Ai's spot. Now, why doesn't she, take her over in the flyweight division, but she does take her spot in pound for pound? Look, she's bringing a strawweight resume to the pound for pound argument there. So we're taking that into consideration. Remember, that's the division there where we account for all the movement that some of the fighters are doing within multiple divisions.
Yeah, I could see some people being a little frustrated with Calvillo coming in at number 15, but I know you like to not make like big swings up and down. If she gets a chance to fight Caitlin Chukagian, looks like she might. I think she can take another big step up there. So, all right, let's look at the co-main event. Middleweight, Marvin Vettori finally got back in action. He got the grudge match with Carl Roberson, put him away in the first round. He's got a little winning streak put together too, and I think you wanted to reward that a little bit. Obviously, there's some great fighters in the middleweight division, but you did want to give him a look.
Yeah, Vettori for sure. Man, that guy had an incredible year of having to put up with just a lot of stress. He was even one of the guys that flew over from the west coast of the United States to England just to not fight. And then, of course, we saw what happened in Jacksonville. So that's why he was all emotional. But, yeah, we're going to reward him. We're going to put him into the honorable mention of the middleweight division. Brad Tavares, who's had some injuries and a couple losses, he'll step back a bit. That's a really, really – that's a division that years ago somebody like Vettori might have made a debut like at 12 or 13, but that division is pretty stacked now with a lot of talent.
Yeah, no question. I think he's due for a big fight next. I know he wants to charge up the rankings. I think he'll get an opportunity in his next matchup. Now, one other small move, but it's worth mentioning. Julia Avila had a very, very impressive win, and she got a small bump in the women's bantamweight division.
For sure, yeah. Julia Avila, I like her, and she's going to swap with Landsberg is what she's doing. She's going to so Landsberg will drop from 15 to honorable mention, and Avila will move up into that spot at number 15. It's a small step, but it's a step. And again, these divisions with the ladies are starting to fill out now. A few years ago, I was really, really critical, the same way I'm about the women's featherweight division right now. There's just not a lot of talent, so you can make bigger moves there. But now these divisions are starting to fill out. And so what you need is a little bit of consistency. And if you can, beat a ranked opponent, then you take a little bit of bigger jumps, especially if you also have that shiny undefeated record or a one-loss record or whatever, then that's when you really make those big moves.
Yeah, it sounds like Julia Avila is going to get booked again quickly, so she'll have a chance to probably take another step up. Some consistency will help as well. I just want to mention a couple of names, George, and let you comment on because I know we talked about them and they just didn't quite make it in, but I think you have to mention their performances. I thought Andre Fili had a great win. I think Merab Dvalishvili is somebody that's going to be a future contender in that bantamweight division, and I think Maria Agapova had an incredible debut as well. But really, featherweight, bantamweight, women's flyweight, all very, very good divisions. So even with these stellar performances, they're just kind of right on the outside looking in.
Exactly. So let's take them one by one with Merab Dvalishvili. There's no disrespect headed towards Gustavo Lopez's way, but, this is him debuting. He's done a great job over at Combate Americas, but this is him debuting. So Dvalishvili can stay where he's at right now. I mean, if you look at 135 honorable mention, 145 honorable mention, and then even look at the guy that's at number 15. Song Yadong is just sitting there going like seriously, I mean, that guy's put in some work in that division. So Dvalishvili would have needed a higher profile win or just beat Song Yadong, I guess. But so for right now, we give him a look. Obviously, if there's something there, we do it. But I can't help but think that Simone loss from about 2 years ago could have maybe had Dvalishvili in that 10 spot, somewhere around there. But that was the loss that hurt him a little bit. So right now he'll sit where he's at. Andre Fili, look, a lot of respect for that guy who's been doing it for such a long time. But the problem is he'll win 2 and lose 1, and then the wins are decisions. So they're not these statement wins. He doesn't peel off 4 or 5 in a row. Those moves are just tough to make. And again, man, I hate to call them gatekeepers, but whoever's at 14, 15 in that division as well, I mean, it is stacked at featherweight. And Agapova, I was impressed. The only problem is, I think, same thing as Dvalishvili. Her opposition was, somebody who turned it around quickly. In this case, Hannah Siffers, submitted by Mackenzie Dern at 15. Now, submitted at 125. She's got a nice record. I think she's going to make some moves, but we'll just slow things down for now. I'm really impressed with Lara Lee, in the honorable mention down in the flyweight division right now. So we'll cool our horses, cool our heels a little bit there on that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think I speak for all MMA fans. We say we always appreciate an update on Yadong. Listen, UFC on ESPN 11 is this Saturday at the Apex. It's a great card, top to bottom. I'm sure it'll have some impact on the rankings as well. We'll talk about it next week on the Rankings Report.